Hello everyone, this is Professor Smith, and in this recording I'm going to show everyone how to play the Fiscal ship. So the first thing you'll do is go to the site fiscalship.org, which you can see the link at the top, and then you're going to click on New Game. Now it prompts you for a username. I don't actually think you have to do that to make the game work. And then click play. Alright, so here's the gist. We've been learning about fiscal policy as the use of government spending and taxes to influence the economy. Now suppose you wanted to be contractionary with fiscal policy in order to reduce the deficit and the debt. You would have to make some tough choices about what programs to cut, for example. Or on the tax side, how are you going to raise taxes and on which sectors of the economy? So the gist of this game is that you're going to choose some policies that would help you reduce future debt levels, okay? And to do that, you're going to want to think, what would be a contractionary fiscal policy? Okay, so click Let's Get Started. Now, I still haven't actually figured out exactly how these, for our purposes, I think if you just click Choose My Own, and then we're going to choose Fiscal Hawk. Okay, so it just kind of gives you some what we call governing goals. That's a little bit separate from what you actually have to do. So just at that point, click Let's Go. Sometimes the screen pops up, I think, if you just click anywhere. Okay, so what you're given in these three radio buttons here are what I call in the assignment the policy areas. Okay, so if you just kind of look at the titles of these, let's scroll through these. Right, so notice how some of them are spending, like Social Security, some of them relate to taxes, education policy, infrastructure policy, all the fiscal policy stuff that we've been learning about. Now what I want you to do, if you click on any one of these, so let's suppose I start with Social Security. And then again, just click anywhere to continue. Now you're given another set of radio buttons, and you'll notice you now have very specific policies within that policy area. So for example, let's suppose you wanted to reduce Social Security payments, because that would help reduce the debt. You might consider increasing the Social Security eligibility age. So what you would do is you would click on that policy. On the left, if you click Explain, it will show you some of the basics about what that means. Okay, so in this case, instead of being able to collect when you turn 67, you would start at 69. Okay. Now there are some economic arguments for each of these. Okay, so you would summarize that. And then there are some arguments against, so like some pros and cons. Now, if you think that that would be a good way to help reduce the debt, you could click Choose, and I believe that will store it in a list here under View My Plan. Okay. Now, the only way to really be wrong with this assignment is to choose something that would actually increase the debt, which would involve more government spending or less taxes collected. So, for example, if I click on another one, if I chose boost benefits for the very old, that would be associated with an increase in government spending, and that would make the debt worse over time. So you want to just choose ones that will actually have a meaningful reduction in the debt. And again, you want to think about just contractionary fiscal policies. Now, the only other aspect of this game, if you click the back arrow, the double arrows will take you back to the policy areas. You'll notice in the assignment requirements, I want you to choose multiple policy areas. Okay, so for example, maybe next I want to go to the tax side of the economy. Okay, notice how I have specific policies that range from increasing taxes, okay, boosting taxes on the super rich, right? There's levels here. implementing a flat tax, so that would be a tax reduction strategy. So if you're going to use a tax one, you again want to think about which policies would increase tax revenues that the government collects, because that would reduce the need for additional government borrowing. So once you have your policy areas and your specific policies collected, again, I think you could click View My Plan, or you can just write them down on the side somewhere. And what I want you to upload, I'm going to want you to upload some combination of a screenshot of your plan, so what policies you chose, and then possibly I have a little summary table here. So what you would simply do is summarize what was the policy area, what was the specific policy that you chose, and then just a very brief write-up about why that would help reduce the debt. So to help you with that, again, there was that button in each policy that said arguments for. So you could just summarize that, maybe do a little extra reading on it, and just write that in here. And that is the gist of the assignment. So I will see everyone in another video.